Hey everyone, how are you doing? This is Jesse, and this is my rhetorical analysis criticism presentation. We're going to be breaking down a Dre Beat headphone commercial called Above the Noise. I have posted a link there in the video, so there you guys can go ahead and copy and view that video before I would put it in the actual presentation, but it's really long and would take up a lot of my time. So unfortunately, I'm not going to do that, but I will try to give you guys a quick, brief background about it so that you guys can understand kind of where I'm coming from. The video starts off just by a father working late nights, and his daughter comes in and wants him to tell her a bedtime story. He tells her a story about how there's a group of people, individuals, everyday people who can turn off their ears and block out the noise, and when they do that, they can do exceptional things. So the whole premise of the video is basically rising above all that background noise and being able to live in the moment and be able to excel in whatever you want to do. So we're going to kind of break it down both with using the ethos, the pathos, as well as a rhetorical theory breakdown and just different genres as we go through this. Now, this obviously, the genre in which this contains is in the music is huge. It also leaks into culture as far as sporting, as far as just being used on all different types. Beat headphones now have been actually converted into car speakers as well. So it's really taking off and being all over the map, which is a good thing as far as for Beats is concerned. So we're going to kind of break down and go a little bit more in depth as we go. You can read my thesis here and kind of just see what my overall arching plan is for this. So just bear with me and let's get to it, huh? So the first thing, I know we all heard this throughout the class, is the who is persuading whom of what, and that's basically what I'm going to be breaking down here at the beginning of this presentation. Is very important is to figure out, the first question is the who. So Beats will use many famous athletes, models, etc. to gain influence and popularity. There's no question about it. When you see Beat headphones, you see them everywhere. You see the Beats pills in music videos all over the place. You see, for a while, it was the Olympics were using the Beat headphones as part of their, for all the swimmers. I know Michael Phelps uses it. In this video precisely, we see Neymar, we see Cara Delevingne, we see Serena Williams, as well as we see Chris Wu, who is an international pop star. Many of you may not know who that is, but he actually has some pretty decent music. So this would fall under the ethos of rhetorical analysis, basically saying the ethical appeal, meaning to convince or an audience or an author of the credibility of the character or characters. So an author would use ethos to show his audience that he is a credible source and is worth listening to. So basically, the same principle applies with this. Is the Beats is using these athletes, these models, these famous individuals as marketing to show them, well, if these guys listen and use our product, then you guys need to listen and use our product because it's just a way better quality. Which right off the bat, you know, you've seen it, I've seen it. It's very prevalent in the world that Beats uses a lot of famous people for that. So getting into the next part, now we get to the target audience, the whom is being persuaded. So Beats are for anyone, male, female, especially music lovers, athletes, and it ranges from all ages. So I've been a fan of Beats for a long, long time. Grew up not so wealthy, so I couldn't afford them. Always jealous of everyone else who actually had them until I actually got my first pair, which was great. And I loved them until I broke them. So they lasted me quite a while, though. So in the video, it really markets to the youth based on the fact that it's telling you to rise above the noise, overcome the problems in front of you and in today's society. Obviously, there's so many deep underlying issues, and throughout the video, you do see that. So you see the whom as being it's these kids, and then it's almost like their former or adult self, as far as the athletes are concerned. They're looking down on their former self and seeing where they came from and how they had to overcome certain issues in their lives in order to be where they are today. And so it's just kind of showing, you know, the whom as the younger generation, people who are still out there seeking their dreams and trying to make that happen. So being able to block out the noise really helps. So the who is persuading of what. Now, as simple as the what of the statement is clear, we are trying to persuade them to buy headphones. That's what Beats is trying to do, buy headphones, right? But it has to be a little bit more detailed than that. It's not just, hey, buy headphones. They're trying to sell success. They're trying to sell the idea of, if you buy these headphones, noise canceling headphones, what you will get out of it. So the what? So the who is the famous athletes and so on and so forth, is persuading who? The youth, pretty much anybody who listens to music or works out and wants to listen to music. Of what? The what is that their headphones are the best. And why would you want anything else other than quality? And the what is that you need to buy our headphones because they are noise canceling, they are the best sound quality, and you won't find anything else better on the market. So the who is persuading the whom of what, and there you go. So you kind of really break down the ethos, logos, and pathos. As far as it's concerned, there isn't too much to do with logos in this because the commercial doesn't really focus on logic. It's more or less trying to really play on your emotions. So bringing that to the pathos. So the pathos, simply put, is appealing to the audience emotions. We're all emotional at some point in our lives. Now, if you watch the video, you'll notice these two scenes. I picked these two pictures out based off of the fact that I think that it really does play a part into how we have all kind of been there. We've all been down. We've all been, counted out. And here you see these two kids. The kid on the right-hand side is the one who grew up playing soccer, and the other one was kind of the kid running around in a tough neighborhood, seeing gang violence, and then breaking away from his little gang and standing alone in amongst the storm by taking it head on himself. So it really does play to your emotions because you are feeling the passion that these kids have. You see them, maybe you grew up a little poorer than the normal, so you kind of you feel with the kid on the right because he didn't have anything, and you see him living in a small apartment with all of his family and getting advice to just go out there and be successful and try hard, and then you see him get knocked down, you see him get picked up by his friend and consoled. So the beats are definitely trying to play the pathos as well as the ethos in this video especially. So jumping quickly, switching gears into my rhetorical theory, I've chosen to do the Burke's pentad, or referred to as grammar or motive. Basically, the act, agency, agent, scene, and purpose. Burke believed that there's motives behind everything, and asking these questions about it would help bring light to the hidden motives. If someone is saying something, there might be other factors and the reason why they're saying that. So that is definitely something that you see throughout this video. Now, I'm going to bring up really quickly a scene from that and that I want to break down. So hang with me one second. I gotta get you to view this video. So just this one scene. So okay, so we see there that there was some issues as far as we see the scene broken down. The main scene that I wanted to break down was the girl kind of at the bar where you hear those guys saying, "Oh, she's such a babe," and she talking about her behind her back. So the act is what's being done. So she's being degraded, which I'm sure that with today everything that's going on in today's society and in culture, that many of the girls in the class may have felt this, both with the Me Too movement and everything like that, breaking that down. And so I believe that Beats is using that as a hidden agenda, almost a hidden motive, if you will. The agency by which an action occurs. So she's out there, she's taking someone's order, and you hear these guys kind of talking about her. And as the video unfolds, you see them whistling and growling and all that kind of stuff at her, which that's the agent person doing the act. So you see the agent as the guys who are in the booth, who are kind of catcalling her, if you will. The scene is obviously the diner and where she works. The purpose to me in this rhetoric is that you see her getting whistled at, called out, and I think that to a degree, a lot of women would understand that and feel that kind of issue at hand and maybe take that to heart, and maybe that would actually promote beats in a positive manner, basically saying that they don't agree with that. So hidden under all of the layers of what they're saying, they're saying we have noise canceling headphones, but what they're really getting into is they're getting into the meat of the Me Too movement, women being degraded and demoralized by men on a consistent basis, and how that needs to stop. In addition, really quickly, we see that you see that the young black gentleman getting arrested against the cop car. So that also, with the racial inequality that's going on in America, Dre Beats is definitely making a stand on that, and definitely with some hidden motives, very underlined, very but using Burke's pentad, we can apply that to certain scenes and really break down and see that there are some hidden agendas within that. So sorry the video went a little long, guys. I tried to keep it as fast as I could. I can only talk so fast. So I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope that this is what you guys were looking for, and I hope that you guys all have success in your projects as well. And I can't wait to view some of them and see how they all turned out. So thank you so much, and have a great night.